Welcome back in. Macro and Cubic in the morning, 8 a.m. Max Ball Friday, September 26th, right here on Jocks. You can grab the app, listen on the go, search WJOX in your app store. That'll take you to the YouTube page. You can watch live every day. Search Jocks945 there. Also, tell your homes can listen that way.
Bill Smith Buick GMC is the GMC Dealer of the Year, the national champion of GMC dealers. The deals they have on the lot are as good as you'll find anywhere. No one can beat their prices. There's a reason why they sell more GMCs than anyone in the entire Southeast, and there's a reason why they've been named the national champion of GMC dealers 5 consecutive years. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Go up and see Andy Cole and Jonathan Yeager. You'll see what I'm talking about. The deals are so good that you have no choice but to go back and to buy another vehicle and become a repeat customer, just like 75% of their business. I'm a repeat customer. I've bought 3 vehicles from them, and I'll buy my 4th here at some point down the road. It's just that good. So go and check out Bill Smith Buick GMC. It's a short drive up to Coleman, up I-65, exit 310, Highway 31, or you can shop online and have it delivered right to your driveway at BillSmithBuickGMC.com.
Ryan McGee joining us now on the Higginbotham Hotline. Man, this Lane Kiffin documentary is making noise all over the place. A lot of folks talking about it, in which you went to this, whatever it was, Florida private booster meeting.
Newly on their all fine ball 6 times. Story on Pat and everybody. You know the deal are doing, which already up at a game down to Athens. We house and all these boosters were there. Shane. Well, if we lose A and I was they did not hire Lane Kiffin, and Lane Kiffin still. I have literally told that story. The Twitterverse got a. I went to Tennessee.
You are.
What year?
In the last few years, is there?
What the weekend? It
Oh.
was a year ago. Told this story weekend wherever we were. It's funny, but whatever. That's fine.
Fans are mad at you?
They're not mad at me. It's I don't care. Dale Earnhardt used.
Or Junior? Who said that?
That was Dale Sr., but Dale Jr. quotes it a lot.
I love it. Nice. All right, help us out with the kind of making, and you and I talked on the set. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I can't wait to watch it. It's had a ton of great reviews, but you've had this thing kind of in the works for a while. Kind of walk us through the process of putting together The Many Lives of Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, so it was about a year ago. We went to Lane, so there's a really talented director at E60 named Jason Costura. Speaking of Earnhardt, he and I worked on a Dale Earnhardt documentary together a couple of years ago, and Jason's a huge college football guy. He's like, who should we be doing a documentary on? I'm like, it's not even a conversation. It should be Lane Kiffin. And we knew that Lane had not done the Netflix show. He had chosen not to do that. So quite honestly, part of my pitch to Lane was, well, you don't have to share this show with anybody. You can have a whole hour to yourself. And and I think that helped. But we've been working. We did the primary interview that you see in the documentary. We did that back in the spring. It was late spring, and then we went back to Oxford 3 or 4 times in the months since then, and interviewed the family and interviewed Chris, obviously defensive assistant. This is his brother, the kids, and yeah. So this thing has been in the works for about 6 months, actual production wise. And so it's fun putting those things out there because we finished edit like on Sunday night. And then when all this about Landry and her new boyfriend dropped, I shot them a note and said, thanks for the promotion. I appreciate it.
Love that. There are some really cool aspects of this, and Lane being pretty open with you guys. A lot of it talking about his plans for the last few years with his dad. What was this like for you when you saw it? Did you expect to get sort of this deep with him? Do you expect him to be this open with you guys, just talking about his life, his father's life, and the personal side of that?
Well, so I adored Monty Kiffin. And I probably have told you guys this before, but, when I was a kid growing up in Raleigh, Monty was the head football coach at NC State. And so my dad was an ACC official. We would go out to we'd go to scrimmages. My dad couldn't work NC State games. We'd go to scrimmages and practices. Well, my brother and I played pickup football with the sons of the coaches. And there was this one little 6-year-old that kept calling DPIs and holding and like yelling at guys because they weren't running their routes right. And, fast forward 20 years, my brother called. He said, I think that mouthy kid from NC State just got the Raiders job. So, but we would go to those practices, and Monty Kiffin would treat us like we were his kids. Hey, do you play ball? Who's your favorite player? He found out I love Mike Quick. He's introduced me to all these players at NC State. And so Lane and I have always had that connection about his dad. And so we actually started the interview. If you're watching the show, you'll see I'm holding this piece of white paper, and that's actually like an old NC State like autograph card that his dad had signed for me when I was a kid. And so a lot of the interview kept going back to his dad. And and honestly, people want to know, how do you move to Oxford, Mississippi, and get sober, which is what Lane has done. And the answer to that is he wanted to be his best for his dad in what he knew was going to be the last years that he had with his dad. And what's really interesting, guys, is as Lane gets older, he's starting to kind of look like his dad, and he's certainly kind of starting to sound like him. And I guess that happens to all of us. But the difference is that, it doesn't happen to all of us, in front of the whole world like it's happened for Lane. But I believe in when it's changed. There's no question about that. There's still just enough of old Lane Kiffin in there to get off his Twitter shots when he wants. But we can all evolve as people, and I hope that we do, and I certainly think that he has.
What do you think? I mean, I know that he's making a ton of money, but he's on everyone's short list every year. And I don't really blame him. I mean, he's done a great job. And there's going to be probably 15 openings this year. If you talk to coaching search folks, and depending on who takes what, it could be some trickle down. And we're already off to a pretty hot start with Frank Reich at Stanford into 1-year rental. You have 3 Power 5s that have already been fired. So we're at 4 already, and we haven't even gotten to October yet. I mean, is this the year where someone makes a compelling enough push to go and get him, or do you think he's not going to mess with Happy?
I honestly believe, and I've been so wrong on these things before, but I honestly believe he's not going to mess with Happy. I like the way you put that because, we're talking about Earnhardt, right, a lot, but one of Dale Earnhardt's great regrets is that he was not a good dad. If you watch that Amazon Prime documentary, that the underlying theme is he was not a good dad, and Lane Kiffin knows he wasn't a great dad, and now he has a second chance, in his words, to be an in-person dad. And Knox is a freshman in high school there, and has a chance to be a pretty good quarterback, from what everybody tells me. Landry is a junior. His middle daughter is playing volleyball at USC, but even Layla, she has a place now right there in Oxford. And his brother, Chris, is on his staff, and they basically share a backyard. So I don't know if you want to mess with that. But I think that, like when he left Tennessee, I think the only job he would have left Tennessee for was USC. And I think he probably has 1, maybe 2 jobs in his mind that he would really wrestle with if they came open. And one of them's probably going to come open, and one of them probably isn't. And he'll have to wrestle with it. But he's really happy, and I don't know if he wants to mess with that.
Florida being one of those jobs?
Yeah, there are ties to Florida. I mean, for folks that don't know, And his ex-wife Layla, who he's still very close to, obviously is in Oxford. Her dad was the legendary quarterbacks coach there. You guys know that. Not a lot of people do. And so there's ties to that job. But I mean, I think Alabama's the one. I mean, if Alabama calls, I don't care who you are, you return the call. But I don't know. He seems really, really happy, and we're all in about the same age group. And I don't know if you mess with that at this point.
No, it's a great point. It's a great thought as well. I'm going to ask you this question, and I don't even know if I expect you to answer it. I don't know what I expect to get, but I think it's just because I'm so interested in what it potentially is. I heard you do a different interview yesterday, and you referenced Layla Kiffin's part in this documentary. There really is not one, but there were conversations about it. And you essentially asking if one day you could share her portion of some of this story in general. Is there any inkling into what parts of that you would like to share the most? And I'm not even talking the details of what she said or what she told you, but just what part of her, I guess, connection to all of this do you think would make the best story that you would love to tell so much one day?
Well, which the conversation she and I had, and I won't share the details of it, but her knowing that I'm, went to Tennessee and my wife's from Knoxville and all that, we talked about her side of the night they left, and it was awful. I mean, for folks that don't remember, the rock is the big rock sits in the middle of campus at Tennessee. They put her phone number on it. And, and she doesn't know what's going on, and they're trying to get out of town. And it was scary is what it was. And she's got 3 little kids at the house. So we talked about that. And she was very gracious, and she talked to the kids about participating in it, but ultimately she decided not to. But it's cool to see the 2 of them co-parenting. And, they were co-parenting on 2 different coasts for their entirely divorced life, and now they're co-parenting together, and that's pretty cool to see. And people are gonna go crazy with what that may or may not be, but all I know is they whatever they're doing, they look very happy.
I would hate to be the person who got that cell phone number next, because as someone who has had the same cell phone number for I think 6 years, Joshua, I will not say his last name, but I do know it because of all the debt relief and loan option texts and voicemails that I still get and phone calls I still get looking for Joshua. I can't even imagine the people who are still calling that number, trying to give her a hard time. And some poor soul's picking it up like, I didn't leave anybody. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I've never met Tammy Johnson, but I know her credit's not good. That's whose number I got.
It's incredible how long they hang on to it. I've told so many foreign people making phone calls that I don't know Joshua. He's not here anymore. It's been 6 years. I don't know where Joshua is.
You worried about him? I'm worried about him.
I just wish I wish he'd call some of them back. I just wish that.
He's out there somewhere in a stolen Kia with Tammy Johnson. They're like Bonnie and Clyde with their bad credit and our cell phone numbers.
They would have a Kia.
Oh, like Smokey and the Bandit riding in that Camaro or that Thunderbird, whatever it was. Oh man, Ryan, great stuff. Thank you so much. Do you like one side of that game this weekend? That Ole Miss LSU game?
Yeah, I'm really compelled by it. Ole Miss is ahead of schedule. I don't think anybody can argue against that. But I think we all kind of hold our breath waiting on LSU to step on their own tail at some point. And that's an emotional game. And Ole Miss playing with house money. Like I say, they're ahead of schedule. LSU's got the pressure, and we'll see how that goes. By the way, speaking of Bonnie and Clyde, I just picked up Marty Smith, and we're headed down to Athens. So
y'all driving in like a 71 like Ford, like a big red 71 Ford, like y'all do in the commercials?
No, but we're in my Dodge Ram with R2D2 on the rear camera as you go down the road. So which Marty just saw for the first time. So yeah. So if you hear of any hillbilly headlines with the red Dodge Warlock, that's us.
There you go. Drive safe, guys. We'll see you soon.
Appreciate it, boys.
Ryan McGee joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline, talking that Lane Kiffin documentary, which is making a lot of noise for a lot of different reasons in a lot of different places. We always football on the other side first. I'll tell you about Andrews Sports Medicine. You guys, listen, I have had multiple operations at Andrews. My wife is at Andrews. There's a reason At Auburn Athletics, hand-selected Andrews Sports Medicine's Dr. Benton Imblem and Charles Pitts to serve as their team physicians. They provide the effort to keep the Tiger student-athletes safe, healthy, and competing at the highest level. If Andrews Sports Medicine is a choice for Auburn Athletics, there's no doubt they should be your family's number one choice for sports medicine and orthopedic care. Andrews Sports Medicine has 7 locations across Central Alabama from Birmingham. They offer same-day, next-day appointments for acute sports injuries. Visit AndrewSportsMedicine.com today to begin